So a quick reading video on ESET, which is a software company specializing in cybersecurity. They provide security software in over 200 countries. The company was founded in 1992 in Bratislava, Slovakia. However, its history dates back to 1987 when two of the company's founders, Miroslav Trnka and Peter Pasko, developed their first antivirus program called NOD. This sparked an idea between friends to help protect PC users and soon grew into an antivirus software company. At present, ESET is regularly recognized as Slovakia's most successful company on an annual basis and as Europe's biggest privately held cybersecurity company. So more on the product NOD. It was launched in Czechoslovakia when the country was part of the Soviet Union's sphere of influence. Under the communist regime, private entrepreneurship was banned. It wasn't until 1992 when Miroslav Trnka and Peter Pascal, together with Rudolf Ruby, established ESET as a privately owned limited liability company in the former Czechoslovakia. Okay, have now pasted in the correct spelling of each of these names. Pretty sure I'm still mispronouncing it though. Now in 2013, ESET launched We Live Security, a blog site dedicated to a vast spectrum of security-related topics. In December of 2017, this marked the 30th anniversary of the company's first security product. To mark its accomplishments, the company released a short documentary describing the company's evolution from the perspective of the founders, and in the same year, the company partnered with Google to integrate its technology into Chrome Cleanup. Now, in December of 2018, ESET partnered with No More Ransom, a global initiative that provided victims of ransomware decryption keys, thus removing the pressure to pay attackers. The initiative is supported by Interpol and has been joined by various national police forces. ESET has developed a number of technologies to address the threat of ransomware and has produced a number of insightful papers documenting its evolution. ESET became a founding member of Google's App Defense Alliance, and I believe the year on that was 2022. At the time of this recording, it is December 2022. So as I mentioned previously, ESET operates in over 200 countries. Apparently they have 22 branches. The first international branch was opened in 1999 in San Diego, the second in the Czech Republic in 2001. Other notable branches include Buenos Aires, Singapore, and Tokyo. In terms of products, they have home and business users. Their products cover all the main operating systems across server, cloud, and mobile deployments. ESET's first product was NOD, an antivirus program, as mentioned before, and for computers running the MS-DOS operating system is what that antivirus software was for. Now, NOD 32 1.0 for Microsoft Windows was released in 1998 and version 2.0 in 2003. A third version, ESET NOD 32 Antivirus, followed in 2007 along with the ESET Smart Security 3, which added anti-spam and firewall modules. ESET also offers products for Android devices. The first version of ESET Mobile Security was announced in 2012. The product not only offers malware protection, but also provides a call filter, an adware detector, payment protection, and theft protection, such as SIM card locking and total data wipes. In 2015, ESET introduced ESET Parental Control, which allows parents to monitor children's use of Android devices. ESET Smart TV Security, designed to protect Android TV from malware, phishing, and ransomware, was introduced in 2018 at the Mobile World Congress event in Barcelona. The company offers a full range of solutions to protect corporate data, ranging from workstation and server protection with ESET Protect Entry to endpoint detection and response with ESET Enterprise Inspector. ESET also offers security products that help companies comply with GDPR requirements. These include ESET Secure Authentication, a two-factor authentication solution introduced in 2015, and ESET Endpoint Encryption, which ESET released in 2017. ESET endpoint encryption offers file, folder, email, and virtual disk encryption, as well as a desktop shredder for secure file deletion. Along with its individual products and packages, ESET offers services designed mainly for corporations and large companies. These include managed detection and response, premium support, security audits, and incident response. Now, ESET has 13 R&D centers worldwide and is an outstanding innovator in the field of malicious code detection. In 1995, ESET introduced heuristic analysis into its detection engine. So these heuristic scanners run suspicious files in an in-product sandbox to observe their behavior and assess the risk, meaning that even previously unknown malicious code can be detected. ESET has been using machine learning in its products, starting with neural networks since 1997. In 2005, ESET incorporated a machine learning-based technology called DNA detections, which extracts precisely selected features called genes from samples. These genes split samples into clean, malicious, and potentially unwanted categories. In 2019, ESET released an advanced machine learning detection layer that can analyze samples locally on endpoints even when offline. In 2011, ESET replaced ThreatSense.net with ESET LiveGrid, a cloud-based reputation system that evaluates unknown or suspicious samples submitted anonymously by millions of ESET-protected endpoints from around the world for machine learning analysis on servers in Bratislava. If a sample is identified as malicious, it is given a low score, and this information is shared with all ESET-protected endpoints through the ESET LiveGrid reputation system, thus keeping users protected from threats found in other parts of the world. Now, ESET's host-based intrusion prevention system monitors system activity and uses predefined rules to recognize suspicious behavior. The HIP's self-defense mechanism stops the offending process from carrying out the harmful activity, or, if a more detailed analysis is necessary, performs further inspection via its internal modules. ESET has developed several modules for HIPs, including Advanced Memory Scanner, Exploit Blocker, Ransomware Shield, and Deep Behavioral Inspection. In 2012, ESET introduced Exploit Blocker, which monitors commonly abused applications for suspicious activity that might indicate an exploit. Monitored applications include web browsers, document readers, email clients, Adobe Flash, Java, and components of Microsoft Office. Exploit Blocker helps to protect users from new and unknown threats and zero-day attacks. Advanced Memory Scanner was introduced in HIPS in 2013, and this module addresses the use of obfuscation and encryption by malware authors to let their code run in memory only, and thus avoid detection and further analysis. Advanced Memory Scanner monitors the behavior of this code once it decloaks in memory. Oh, come on, that use of the word decloaks is completely weird and misleading. Well, in 2017, Ransomware Shield is a product they had that monitors and evaluates all executed applications using behavioral and reputation-based heuristics. And by the way, this is relying on the ESET LiveGrid. If a behavior that resembles ransomware is identified, such as the encryption of files, like a lot of files, Ransomware Shield either blocks the application or notifies the user, who can then choose to block the activity. In 2019, ESET released Deep Behavioral Inspection, which enables HIPs to thoroughly inspect API calls made by suspicious or unknown processes. If the process is clearly malicious, Deep Behavioral Inspection mitigates the activity and informs the user. If the process is suspicious, HIPs can use the data gathered by Deep Behavioral Inspection to run further analysis via its other components, or request additional examination via technologies that are part of the broader ESET scanning engine. ESET also uses additional security layers, including botnet protection, network attack protection, script-based attacks protection, and brute force attack protection. In 2017, okay, so I guess we're jumping backwards in time again now, ESET became the first security company in the world to implement a UEFI scanner. UEFI is a firmware that is loaded into a computer's memory during the startup process. The scanner can identify threats while the computer is booting up, which is nice because this is before standard detection modules start running. Now, in terms of malware research, ESET dedicates a large part of its operations to malware research, as well as to the monitoring of advanced persistent threat groups and other cyber criminal groups, with 40% of the company's employees working in research. One of the most notorious groups that ESET tracks is Sandworm. After the 2015 attack of the Ukrainian power grid and the global NotPetya ransomware attack in 2017, both attributed to Sandworm, ESET discovered Sandworm, more specifically a subgroup that ESET tracks as Telebots, deploying a new backdoor called I don't know how to pronounce that. And just to make sure I'm getting all the spelling correctly, here is the sentence I have just read. So I'm just going to call this Exaramal. So this Exaramal is an improved version of the main Industroyer. So that's how you spell that. So Industroyer is a backdoor. As this backdoor was used in the 2016 blackout in Ukraine, ESET linked this to NotPetya as well as to Black Energy, which was used in the 2015 blackout. And Black Energy, by the way, is the name of some malware. Looks like I could do a whole separate video on that. Just know that it was malware. Now, at the time of the NotPetya outbreak, ESET and Cisco tracked down the point from which the global ransomware attack had started to companies afflicted with the Telebots backdoor, resulting from the compromise of ME-Doc, a popular financial software in Ukraine. In March 2021, when Microsoft released out-of-band patches to fix the proxy logon vulnerability affecting on-premises versions of Microsoft Exchange Server, ESET discovered more than 10 APT groups leveraging the vulnerability to compromise them. Proxy logon allows an attacker to take over any reachable Exchange server even without having knowledge of valid account credentials. In addition, ESET found that multiple threat actors had access to the details of the vulnerabilities even before the release of the patches, except for DLT Miner, which is linked to a known crypto mining campaign. All of these threat actors are APT groups interested in espionage. And instead of trying to get Microsoft Word to correctly spell these names, I've pasted them here. Lucky mouse. So another focus of ESET's research is on threats to Android devices. ESET discovered the first Clipper malware in the Google Play Store called AndroidClipper.c, which can manipulate clipboard content. In the case of a cryptocurrency transaction, a wallet address copied to the clipboard could be quietly switched to one belonging to an attacker. Next paragraph. In the area of IoT research, ESET discovered the crook. At this point, Microsoft Word is definitely going to misspell these things. So ESET discovered the crook vulnerability, which is CVE 2019-15126, in Broadcom and Cypress Wi-Fi chips. It's always interesting when there's vulnerabilities inside the chips themselves. So this vulnerability allows WPA2 encrypted traffic to be encrypted with all 0 session keys, following a Wi-Fi disassociation. Then ESET discovered another crook-related vulnerability, and there's the number right here, CVE 2020-3702, in chips by Qualcomm and MediaTek, as well as the Microsoft Azure Sphere development kit, with the main difference being that the traffic is not encrypted at all. Other notable research includes the discovery of LoJax, the first UEFI rootkit found in the wild, which was used in a campaign by the SedNet, aka Fancy Bear, APT group. LoJax is written to a system's SPI flash memory from where it is able to survive an OS reinstall and a hard disk replacement. Wow. LoJax can drop and execute malware on disk during the boot process. In 2021, ESET discovered another UEFI malware called ESPector. which is the second real-world bootkit after FinSpy, and it's known to persist on the EFI system partition in the form of a patched Windows boot manager. In 2021, ESET released the white paper called Anatomy of Native IIS Malware. Wow. Which analyzed over 80 unique samples of malicious native extensions for Internet Information Services, web server software used in the wild, and categorized these into 14 malware families, 10 of which were previously undocumented. ESET also works alongside experts from competitors and police organizations all over the world to investigate attacks. In 2018, ESET partnered with the European Cybercrime Center, a specialist Europol team that investigates cybercrime, as a member of its advisory group on internet security. ESET partnered with law enforcement agencies worldwide and Microsoft to target the DorkBot botnet in 2015. And the Gamaru, aka Andromeda botnet, in 2017. Then in 2020, ESET partnered with Microsoft, Lumen's Black Lotus Labs, and NTT Limited in an attempt to disrupt TrickBot, another notorious botnet. Okay, that's it for today's reading. Thanks for watching.